Well, hi, welcome to Tarot Time. Whether you're here 11 a.m. on a Sunday morning Eastern Time or watching this as a video, welcome to this morning's all about tarot and divination to give us a little bit of a heads up on what's going on in the week ahead, in the world around us, maybe, or in your lives or in our community. We start out with a meditation card. I do a 3-card spread as a forecast for the week, and I have other divination tools. So that's what we're up to today, and welcome everybody. And I will give the live people a couple minutes to get their notifications and to be here. But I know it's a beautiful day here in the Catskill Mountains of New York, and hopefully wherever you are, no matter what the weather's doing, that it's a beautiful day. It's really a beautiful time to be alive, even though it's challenging and a lot of people are going through a lot. But that's why we're here. That's why we're growing and developing spiritually, why we're opening our hearts, why we're opening our mind, so that spirit can access us, so that we can make a difference in this ascension process that's going on here on the planet. Let me put the old glasses on. Hi, MT and TN and Carissa and Olivia and Chris, and that's it so far. Oh, hi, Mr. Floyd, and hi, Michelle. All right, so people are starting to come in. So hi, Angela. Hi, Jody. Good morning, everybody. And I am currently cat sitting for a friend. So if in the middle of this, if I start sneezing and my eyes turn to the size of grapefruits, don't be concerned about that. Or if you see a big white blob knock the camera over, I'm cat sitting. So they like to be the stars also. So how's everybody doing? How are you guys doing that did the transmission on the 5th? By the way, the portal's still open, so if you want to do some a little bit of energy activation with us and the master teachers and Archangel Raphael, that's on the channel also. I have to say I got a really strong hit, a really big shift. I'm not 100% right yet. I'm still feeling the energy, so bear with me, and we'll still have a good session. But let me know how you guys are doing also, especially if you did the transmission. The master teachers were saying that we're really going to start to feel the effects of that actually around 72 hours afterwards. So I can hardly wait. Anyway, let me see who else is on. And hi, Elena, Arlena, Alchemy. Can we get favor? My best friend is... yeah, we can get a little bit of a prayer for your friend, to take your friend to the emergency room. And yeah, if you need to leave, of course, Mr. Floyd, you know where to find the replay. And hi, so prayers to Mr. Floyd and his friend. Hi, great rising, Yvonne. Hi, Paul, welcome. And if anybody's new and you'd like to let us know who you are, where in this big wide world that you're coming from. Hi, Rose. Yeah, please be welcome to do that. So let me grab some water. I think they're by the sun, so they're occupied now. But we may have some feline guests here. Yes, everybody sending your best friend prayers. That's what we do. That's what community's for, to support one another, right? And because we're part of a global community and that expands out, we're actually part of an intergalactic community, really. So I don't need my glasses right now. So what we're going to do is start out. Hi, Carl. What we're going to, from Port Angeles. Hi, Carl from Port Angeles. What we're going to do, Port of the Angels. I love it. We actually have angel messenger cards as part of our divination tools. And hello, Claire. So everybody's kind of finding us. The castaways are finding us here in this beautiful island of bliss and of spirit. And all right. So let's talk about doing the meditation card. And the way that I recommend to meditate with tarot, you can do this however the heck you want, but the way that I recommend doing it is, well, always get relaxed, like any other meditation. We always want to be it's funny. My notification just came up on my computer 5 minutes late. The notification system on YouTube could use an upgrade for sure. And by the way, sorry you guys, because several of you have been letting me know that that you're not getting your notification, but you hit that bell just like I asked you to, and YouTube's dropping the ball, so I apologize for that. It's good to have a backup. I like to set an alarm or whatever. Okay. Back to meditation cards. So get nice and relaxed. And each card is like a whole universe unto itself. There's 78 cards in the tarot, 22 major arcana, which really represents differences of consciousness or energy or I mean, I hate to use the word archetype because it's taken a little bit out of context, saying 22 archetypes based on Carl Jung's original meaning for that term. But I think you understand where we're going. So different steps in the spiritual path, different phases of consciousness of growth, where the 56 minor arcana card kind of represents circumstances in your life that reflect your spiritual growth and reflect your spiritual process. So each one is a universe into itself, a portal of information unto itself. We're still in that 5-5 information portal that I've been talking about all week. And we did a crown chakra activation. Again, it's still on the channel, the 5-5 activations to allow us to allow these streams of consciousness that are coming into the earth fields now and into the collective consciousness for to be able to activate us and activate new abilities and to further awaken new dormant DNA strands. We got a lot of dormant DNA. It was called junk DNA back in the day, and the scientists are like, there's a lot of DNA that just isn't doing anything. Well, it's doing something. It's just dormant. The energy have to increase, like the energy thresholds that go through our bodies and through our auras and through our lives has to reach a certain threshold. And then these dormant DNA strands start to awaken. So that's why we do a lot of activations. That's why we encourage you to do a lot of meditation work, a lot of energy work, because the frequencies are naturally increasing. And we want to be, on one hand, we want to be strong enough to be able to handle those increases. So therefore, do your spiritual work, meditation, spiritual exercise, yoga, tai chi, qigong, walks in the wood, whatever it is. And then also to work on elevating your frequencies to match the changes that are happening in the world. And once you become a match to something, you attract it. That's how energy works. Think law of attraction. And that's how you get your upgrade. So where was I? Universe unto itself, each card. And when we meditate with a card, what I suggest doing is to step into the card, like opening a door. You just see a small part of the scene within the card. When you step in, first step is to feel the energy. So just like you're walking into a new room or a new house, the energy feels different. So open your heart, open your field so you can feel frequency and vibration. When you step into the card, feel that, what we feel emotionally, energetically, and even physically through our nervous system is a way of interpreting energy or understanding energy or frequency. And then you kind of understand the frequency and then start to look around and see what other scenes that you see or what you feel. Maybe there's sacred geometry, maybe there's spirit guides. So that's basically that. So I'm going to pull a card. I'm using my Hanson Roberts deck today rather than my Morgan Greer deck. I decided to switch it up a little bit. Hi, Cranky Pants. Hi, Colleen. And this is the one, this card right over here. I'm going to do this. Could I pull two cards? So we this week we actually have two meditation cards. Take your pick or work with both of them. This one is the Two of Swords. This one is the Ten of Wands or the Ten of Rods, basically. So I think it's meditator's choice today. Which one of these worlds you want to enter, or you can maybe flip flop and do both of them. So again, step into the card, feel the energy. These beings could be spirit guides or messages for you, and to see what you get. You may feel different things, you may hear stuff if you're clairaudient. You may see things, that's clairvoyance. You may sense things, that's clairtactile or clairsentience. Sometimes there's psychic smells, tastes, and other psychic senses that come in. But it's all about messages from spirit. Spirit, that includes our angels, our guides, our extraterrestrial friends and helpers, the interdimensional guides. Spirit is always pointing us in the direction of our truth. And we need to learn how to open our hearts and open our minds and be able to understand the signs and synchronicities, understand that language of spirit, that it's symbolic. It happens in divine timing. It happens in sacred geometry. So understanding that spirit's always pointing in the direction towards your truth. And that's the beauty of it. So anyhow, let's do a 3-card spread also. And I'm going to mix these up a little bit. These cards are a little bit older. That's why they stick together. I haven't used them for a while also. Colleen, that's the first song of the day. What's a good? If I think of anything, some reason I'm feeling Pink Floyd. That's what popped up in my mind. You know, in honor of Mr. Floyd, maybe. And I'm hearing it is on the turning away or the turning away, or I'm more of a fan of older Pink Floyd. That's a David Gilmour song. On the turning away. So I don't know what that means. Maybe look up the lyrics. I think that's a message for it. I'll do the same when I'm done. What's she saying? Erase your blue savannah. Well, I like that one too. Thank you. All right. So I'm gonna break into 3 piles, bring back into 1. That's traditional tarot. You know, the 3 fates, I think that is, or the 3 pillars. And within the 3 pillars are 2 portals. That's 111. You know, it's the 3 pillars with the 2 portals. 1111 is 4 pillars with 3 portals in between the ones. All right, so this card is made for licking my fingers. Dry hand on a Sunday morning. What else is new? All righty. I think we got it. My energetic. Well, we just had an eclipse. Yes, we did. Energetic time. All right. I'm already getting a lot of information. So here's the card we got here. We're leading it with the Tower card, key 16 of the tarot of the major arcana. Then we have the King of Cups, which is a very pleasant and benevolent energy, and the 2 Pentacles. Even though it's reversed, it's still pleasant. And I'm saying this is really representing the scorpionic lunar eclipse that we just had on the 5th, on the 5/5 portal. The Tower card is basically, it's blowing up that tower. You know, we're at that point where the whole shebang is coming down, basically, so that as this is on many levels, but I'll start with on a social or global level so that we can rebuild on a stronger and more firm foundation. Now, understand, and I know you do understand, so I'm reiterating. By the way, the CDC director just stepped down. WHO has declared that the pandemic's like a non-emergency, and business as usual, right? Here in the big wide world. But anyway, I'm digressing a little bit, but where was I? So the Tower card, yes. So yeah. Okay, I'm back. My brain just caught up with my mouth again. We're good. So basically, the thing is that we have a society that's really been built on a house of cards. It's been unsustainable from the get-go. They know that. Yeah, they being those select extreme few that control everything on the planet. I mean, you can even look back at Roman times and even further and kind of look at the society and just say things really haven't changed a whole lot in 2,000 years. It's the same paradigm, power over others, greed, oh yeah, all that stuff. But meanwhile, we're in this new vibration, which is of the heart, which is somebody's meowing upstairs, which is more of the heart and more of the soul and more of the spirit. And it's all been built on a house of cards. If you really look at things, it's just not sustainable. It's just the way things are, the financial systems, the government systems, all that stuff. And it's, that house of cards is built on untruths. It's built on manipulation and power over others rather than power to the people. It's power over the people. All that's got to fall. That's the new earth energy that we're coming into now, where there's an elevation in consciousness to a degree or to a point where we're starting to understand that as a collective. And the more people that get that, the more people that are going to get it. That 100th monkey will be reached eventually. So now that's on a global level. Now on a community or local level, I think some of you are going to see things that have not been working out so good for you starting to fall away. I think this eclipse energy is really, it's almost like a stick of dynamite, in the foundation of your tower. If it's not strong enough, it's going to blow up so that you can rebuild. And for most of us, it really isn't. Most of us, even people who teach subconscious reprogramming, like yours truly, we're still subject to the programming. That's why I say virtually every Sunday and virtually every live stream, work with the heart, learn to cultivate the frequencies of the heart. Hearts absolutely cannot be programmed by outside forces. Only the mind can, only the subconscious can. But the heart's stronger than the mind. So when you cultivate the frequencies of the heart, you start to be able to resist that program. You start to see through it. And that's really, the bottom line with that. So that's basically the energy of the tower card. So, you may find that something ends abruptly. Could be a job. Losing a job is a horrible thing because it puts us into a fear lack mentality. We're human. Even those of us that know better, and or losing a relationship or a home or something like that. But you have to understand it's going to rebuild on stronger foundation. Your karma's not a punisher; it's a teacher. Endings, destructions. It's not there to make us miserable. It's here to wake us up. And then what happens? If a major disaster happens, if a job falls away, or something major happens, it forces us to come up with new alternatives, new ideas, and new ways of doing things. The old paradigms just are not going to work anymore. The financial paradigms, all that stuff, it's just not going to work anymore because we're evolving in consciousness. As Tony Robbins says, and others too, everybody has a multi-million-dollar idea tucked somewhere in their brain. The trick is to access that. And in this world, even though the economy is very scary, it's very tentative. Last week we talked about changing values of currencies. I mean, that's happening for sure. And so it's very, it can be really daunting and everything. I need water. So where was I? Yes. So when things like that happen, it can be really scary. Okay, back to the multi-million-dollar idea. I've caught up again. Gosh, that it's important to learn how to think outside the box, because the box just is not existing the way it was. The way we used to do things, our mentality on how to find work, how to make money, and all that. It's not applicable as we move forward, not to the same degree. So we all have that multi-million-dollar idea, but we have to purge the old programming. We have to learn to think outside the box. And even though things are hard in the economy, a lot of people are really suffering financially, it's actually the best time in our lives to make money, because there's new opportunities, there's new ways of applying things, and stuff like that. So for those of you that are going that, then we come into the King of Cups, and the King of Cups is like, that's happiness. Kings are they're air, so represent intellect, but the cups represents water. And it's really, I feel like amidst some challenges in our own lives, I think we're going to have some nice bonding. This could be indicative of some relationship energies that are available for some of you, especially if there's been an ending or if there's been a challenge in the relationship. Remember, Mercury's still retrograde. Also, Venus is going into Cancer, I believe now, from Gemini into Cancer. Not that Venus hates Gemini because it trines it's one of its rulership signs, Libra, but it's more at home in a water sign. And a lot of the energy really goes more into like family values. I think what this is trying to tell us is what's important, and very often it's the family, family of the heart, the people in our lives, taking care of one another, taking care of each other's needs. I feel like for some of you, with a very difficult situation or maybe an ending that's traumatic, it actually becomes a blessing in disguise. You discover who your true friends are. And this is important for probably several of you, but somebody in particular, because that was a really strong message that just popped into my head. And the Two of Pentacles, it's reversed, but it's letting go. It's like you don't have to keep juggling things. You don't have to like be a step behind. I feel like this is a sign that there are new opportunities, new beginnings, there's new people, there's loss, but there's gain. Get grounded. Pentacles is about the earth. It's about being grounded. It also may show that there's both good news and bad news, in the world around us when it comes to things like money, government, and stuff like that. Now, also keep in mind the Tower card is Mars ruled energy, or Mars guided, tarot energy, and Mars is also the god of war. So, we may catch wind of some new problems in the world. It's not like it's new. It's just what the media chooses to share with the public versus what they hold back with, and how they manipulate the truth to almost make it not truth. If that makes sense. I don't know if I'm speaking English, but anyway, that's some of this. I need to turn these around to see if I can. Yeah, they're saying pick and choose your battles wisely. If it's not worth it, just step back. I'm learning to do that. I tend to not be the best at just stepping back and letting things go. I always want to state my case and we'll say debate with people or whatever. But I'm learning sometimes the hard way. I think 2020 kind of woke me up from being that way. Something really big bird just flew by. It might have been an eagle. It flew by too quickly for me to see that. All right, so what else? I think it's not quite Memorial Day weekend, but maybe it's a good vacation time for some of you also. I feel like a lot of you get visits from the spirits now. I think there's a general opening of the fields where your loved ones on the other side are accessing you more. Right. I feel like they're saying write down your dreams and maybe do a little fire ceremony. Actually, I think today's the 7th. Today is what's known as astrological Beltane. Like Beltane or May Day is May 1st, right? That's the Celtic holiday or Sabbath that celebrates, the spring energy, the fertility, and all that stuff. But astrological Beltane is the point right in between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. I believe that is now, that's today. So there's still that Beltane energy, very creative. It's about fertility. So good time to really step into your law of attraction work. We're still, for another day or so, a day or two, we're still in that full moon 5-5 portal. 5 is about change. 5 is about information, the intellect, because it's Mercury, guided numerology also. Some good ideas are going to be flowing, and I feel like what it may be, the U.S. president, but I feel like somebody, in the world, maybe the World Economic Forum, because that pops up in my mind. It's going to come out with something that that's like a plan or something to stabilize the economy or whatever. So you may find, those of you that have investments, you may get a little bit of an uptick in your stocks or your investments, if and when that happens. But this Two of Pentacles reverse makes me feel like it's a juggling act. It's up and down, up and down. So not to freak out if your 401 just kind of dives, but because what goes down comes up, what comes up goes down. The idea is to be smart with your investments. I mean, some people, they don't have a choice when it comes to 401s. I know, but what's going to be really big 2 years from now? Get in on it now. That's the way to go into business. That's the way to go into investments. Like what's companies are up and coming? How's the society moving? What newer companies or even older companies are addressing those needs. Usually people get in on things too late. It's kind of like the whole computer, what was it, bubble? Most people got on too late. They missed the boat. Most people are constantly chasing that wave rather than sitting on the shore and waiting for that wave to come in. So one of the messages for this week is to get everything in place for what's coming up in the world. And again, do some research. I mean, AI is getting very big. That's one thing. Legalization of cannabis. I mean, that just popped up in my mind for whatever reason. Although I think that's more of an example of like it being a little bit too late now about chasing that wave. I think people that got in that years ago are the ones that are going to make money through that. But so I think you guys get the idea. I wanted to just peek at you guys' comments to see where we're going. Oh, you're going to the drum circle today. I'd love to join you. I just have too much work to do. That's yeah. And in Woodstock, where we're close to where I live, there's a drum circle. Yeah, I love drumming. The best news. Adam predicted it without knowing. All right. Good. I don't need to know. And this looks very insightful. The veil has been a block put in place 2,000 years ago. Yeah, or maybe 8,000 years ago. But yeah. Well, that's the shift. So in that 2,000 year cycle, these are the ages. So every 2,000 years or so, we go from one age to another. So we're in the Aquarian age. They were saying very recently, during this year and last year, that we kind of started to pull out of the cusp between the Piscean age and the Aquarian age, and now we're right starting the Aquarian age for another 2,000 years, basically. So the ages go backwards, kind of like the lunar node. They tend to go retrograde. So you go from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age. Then in 2,000 years, we're going to go into the Capricorn age, which is going to be very interesting, but we don't have to worry about that for a couple thousand years. All right. And we have a question here. I'd say to do a little ceremony. When I get a new deck, I have the 4 elements around me. I smudge my card. I have crystals. I say my prayers. I charge it with earth, air, fire, water, and ether or spirit. And I bring my cards to my heart and just kind of say, this is a tool of divination. We're not fortune tellers. We do predictions, but it's always about the knowledge. A prediction can be a point of reference. It's like, if that's a crappy prediction, the message is to work on change your frequency and energy, because that can change outcomes also. Congratulations on being a grandmother, Colleen. Yay. They say they're too stiff in my hand. Yeah, my hands are small also, but these cards are really small, but the other ones I use, it's kind of like 2/3 of my palm, the other cards that I use. All right, so let's do a Native American card, or do I have those with me? Ooh, I have them. They're just in my bag. Here we go. I think with having Mercury in Virgo, I'd be more organized than I am. Sorry about your daughter-in-law, Colleen. Also, I'm just skimming your comments as I'm doing this. This is the Native American Tarot, and this is the card they wanted me to pull. So it says contentment. Let me let's see. Autofocus ain't working. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it's hard for you to really see it. It looks more fuzzy to you guys. Well, they have me in focus, anyways. So it's the Six of Cups would be the counterpart in the tarot, and there's three figures on the horse. We've gotten this card before. Three is a very sacred number, right? You can think 3 and 1, 1 and 3. So every one is a 3 and every 3 is a 1. But you can also think the Tesla code, the 369 code, and how that sacred numerology and the sacred geometry around that is a portal to universal understanding. So we use a lot with threes around here. And that's good. So there's three heads, they're kind of together, but not really. So I think part of the message is that we have to do a little bit more of our own reintegration work. I think a lot of you are just going through some level of heartache, whether it's challenges in a relationship or having to leave somebody. We've been kind of at this the last 2 or 3 years talking about how these energies are kind of, I don't want to say forcing us, but guiding us to leave relationships and find new relationships, not because not because it's negative or bad or anything like that, but more because we're evolving and growing, and some relationships are meant for a season, not forever, in our phase of growth. They're talking about karmic relationships versus soul relationships. Well, karmic relationships are a form of soul relationships, but the karmic relationships are the ones that are very attracting, but they tend to be challenging. And we're meant to basically make something right that went wrong in another lifetime or another level of reality. So karma is not a punishment, it's a teacher. Karma is seldom retribution, but it's patterns of repeating energy. So we experience things in one lifetime, then we die, but it's still in our soul's record. So then when we reincarnate, our soul imprints on the new body and the new incarnation, and these events from other lifetimes become events in this lifetime. So when we have these karmic relationships, we're meant to make different choices with that. So this is a good time to work through the karmic relationships and open up to the pure soul or spiritual relationships. So that goes a step beyond karma. And then you start to connect with the twin flame energy or soulmate energy, or whatever words you want to use for those maybe 1, 2, or 3 special souls that could be conducive to a romantic connection. Like Alan Watts says, you can't get wet by the word water. So you can call it a twin flame or whatever the heck you want to. But I think you get the idea of what that is and where I'm going for that. Maybe hold it where my head is. Good idea. I mean, I'm trying to move my head and thank you, Sandra. All right, so let me move on to the next order of business. I made sacred geometry cards today. I'm gonna do those. So this would be like what sacred geometry to work with. And we're talking about the 369. That's part of sacred geometry. So you have the binary code, right? The code of the dualistic universe, 0, 1, 1, 0. 0 being kind of the divine feminine or the divine yoni, and 1 being like the divine phallus or divine masculine. At least that's one of many possible interpretations. Also, 0 is the void because it's nothing, and 1 is the manifestation. 0 is before spirit, before manifestation. 1 is the actual manifestation on the physical. So 1s and 0s have to coexist. So even though we're physical and I'm seeing my computer in front of me, then my camera's right above the computer. The time that I said that, at least a dozen, if not hundreds of times, I went in and out of the void in that moment. And if you can get so present to become aware of that, even set the intention, being aware of going in and out of the void. You can start by maybe, well, anyway, I think you get the idea. But that is a very powerful meditation tool that not a lot of people are using or teaching. And just, while you're there, just set the intention, because that's what happens. We go in and out, in microseconds, just like light has waves, right? So there's always intervals of darkness within the light, that always intervals of silence within the sound. So if I slow my voice down, it would sound staccato, like boop, 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 boop. There'd always be those points of silences, those troughs. That's the zero energy. So when you understand the nature of duality through the binary code, then you transcend that, and then you come into that 369, that universal flow energy. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Looks like a glitch. What, am I glitching? It's got to be energy, because this Wi-Fi, this upload speed is about as good as it's going to get. So if I'm glitching, it's energy. Happy Mercury retrograde. When did it go direct? 11th, is it, or 12th? Hang in there, it's very soon. All right. Thank you, Cranky Pants. Yeah, please hit the like button. Yeah, let's see if we can get all this beautiful information out. I'm just the mouthpiece for the channel. It's not me, it's spirit that's speaking through me. Well, it's a combination. I mean, sometimes I'm in my intellect, sometimes I'm channeling the information. Sandra says no, I wasn't. Okay. I noticed in the transmission, I was using the hearth of this house, and I looked back in it, and it was like I was seeing all these waves, and my image was like going in and out. I'm like, that's got to be energy, because the Wi-Fi here is super powerful. All right. Anyway, this is going to be our totem animal card. If I can actually pull. Wow, this is the first. I'm going to take Sandra's idea. It's an octopus. Yum, yum, yum. Anybody hungry? I need my glasses. I hear it's a delicacy. There's that squid, calamari. Practice shape-shifting, of course, by altering your physical appearance and mannerisms. I used to like to practice invisibility. I'd sit out in the woods and just practice being invisible. I haven't done that for a while, but it works. But you have to be so present that you don't have a single thought. So you have to literally invert and figuratively blend with the woods, or blend with your surroundings, like a chameleon, so to speak. So I would sit there in meditation, complete presence. People will walk by me, not even see me. I remember that happening, and I had the thoughts like, they don't even see me, and all of a sudden somebody jumped back and like, I didn't even see you there. It really works. So basically, also octopuses, or octopi, I think it's octopuses, are very intelligent beings, and they can use each one of those 8 limbs independently. I have a hard time using my 2 hands independently. So that's another facet of that we have. It's 8 also. So the number 8, what is that? That's Saturn ruled numerology. That's about success. That's about grounding. It's also about law, karma, and stuff like that. Hi, Christina. By the way, I see you. So practice shape-shifting. So that's a great thing. So does that mean, you can literally practice that? I mean, I do that shamanic thing where I become an animal and I take on those mannerisms. One of my early videos, I did that on camera, and I'm so embarrassed, but it was one of my animal communication videos, but that lamp in the background. Oh yeah. Thank you. Thank you. See, I didn't even not know this. I'm gonna flash this. And love chart octopus. Yeah, it's a delicacy. Yeah. So I think you get the idea. So change. Maybe change your hair, change your image. The idea behind that is, and this is what Joe Dispenza says, that to enter the quantum field, or that realm that created everything, that you have to be a nobody. You can't be a somebody. So what he means by that is that you have to lose that sense of self-identity. Then you can blend with your true identity of spirit and frequency. And we are 99.999% wave and less than 0.01% particles. That's just our atomic structure, that atoms are actually energetic. They're not physical. The nucleus is, gosh, like, what is it, 0.999? So everything basically is 0.999 empty space. If it's not empty space, it's energy. That's the, anyways. I've said this enough times. I think you're with me so far. So anyway, back to sacred geometry. I kind of said I was going to do it, then I never did it, right? I didn't do my sacred geometry cards. There you go. Perfectly said. Here we go. Perception. Oh, right. How are we going to do this? It's going to be fuzzy, so you guys aren't going to really see this. All right. Anyways, even though it's a little fuzzy, I think you can kind of get the idea and the gist of it. So I'll bring it closer, even though it's fuzzy. The idea is, take a mental snapshot or come back to this video or whatever, and then vibrate on the sacred geometry. That's going to open up a portal of information. And what it says is the frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. So again, part of the message is perception shift also. Learning how to see through the eyes of spirit rather than the eyes of the programmed human mind, basically, is that, nothing that we see is real. It's all energy. It's just translated through our human operating systems. So different frequencies of energy can appear as different forms also. So, but it's energy, it's all an illusion. That's the human operating system. I like that expression. I've never heard anybody else use it, but I know other people use it because it's a perfect expression. All right, so this will be, come under the heading of last but not least is our messages from the angels. Yes, Angel, I love them too. Okay, this is the one. Aurora. We've gotten Aurora before. Flying high. This is one of Doreen Virtue's many decks that I don't know if it's available for purchase now, because I know they pulled a lot of these decks. For those that you don't know, we'll just say that she had a shift in her spiritual direction that didn't really include this type of work anymore. But anyway, you are flying high right now, which may threaten others, but don't descend, because others will soon become inspired by your example. So those of you that are going through those types of jealousy issues, this has been a lesson for me, because growing up, I had an insanely jealous older brother who's a Scorpio also. It was real. I'll just leave it at that. And for a big portion of my adult life, I kind of stayed in the background. I was afraid to shine my light because I didn't like the feeling of jealousy. It's an ugly feeling, and I grew up with that. And then, I achieve something and people be jealous, or start going out with somebody and all the guys are jealous, all that kind of stuff. And I would diminish myself. So we have to do the exact opposite, shine our light even brighter. It's their choice if they're going to be inspired by you, or if they're going to stay in that energy of jealousy. So keep that in mind. Oh, the Robin Woods deck is a beautiful deck. Also, I like that as well. Thank you for the suggestion, you guys. So anyway, that's what I got for you this morning, and thanks for being here. And let's yeah, for those of you that are in the Northeast, it's gonna get a little bit more overcast later in the day, but well, up here it is. South of us, it already is. But anyways, enjoy. It's a nice, warm spring day. Love you all. Thank you for being here. Tuesday, we're gonna have another spiritual, awakening story interview with Lisa Esposito, who I met through mediumship work. So she's going to share her experiences with awakening, for us. And yeah, I'm going to get a playlist together with all the spiritual awakening stories, videos. The idea of me doing this is because when it comes to awakening, one size does not fit all, and one of the ideas behind the Medium channel is to create a space where people are newly awakened that they can come to and get information. So I wanted, it be available, the different styles of spiritual awakening that people have. So we all have a different story. Mine was very different than others. And also there's different levels of awakening. So I can identify 3 different awakenings in my life so far. Definitely 2. One in 78 and one around 2014, so 1978 or 79. It's wild. I can't remember. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you. Have a beautiful, blessed rest of your Sunday or whatever day you're watching this.